6 or something pretty insane. So I think these junglers, it's very swingy in how they're doing, and performance seems to mean a lot here.
Cadian, one of the new guys on the squad, definitely performing well in his first playoffs. Relia ban starting it out, no surprise, no switch up.
Yeah, if they ban the other things, it'll be Ryze, Sylas, Morgana, and a Vlad or a Kindred, and TSM seem to do well with the Kindred bans, so you might just keep seeing the same bans as time moves on, or Echo Fox might find something new, but the difficulty is TSM keeps playing different things. They've got to figure out what it is they're actually afraid of here.
All right, what combinations are we looking through? There are some other options as well, making adjustments from last game to this game that Echo Fox could make. Not necessarily banning away champions, but even just having different answers. I saw a lot of people talking about Swain being one of the big answers to Lissandra that we've seen have so much more effectiveness than something like the Corki. You know, it's a lot more tanky, provides a lot more crowd control for the team. You have more options for setup. And that can also work better with the jungler early on. So
Fox taking their time. It's still going to be the Akali ban. So these 5 bans remain the exact same throughout the whole series. TSM won by banning Kindred. We'll see if that reprises its role, and indeed there's the case. So same beginning of the draft as game 2.
Yeah, they don't want to have to cede any sort of early game control. You want to be able to take the matchup, be super confident that you know, it's not going to be this early. Well, going to be a similar start out here. Rush once again, back to the Jarvan.
Yes.
See if the answer is the same from TSM.
Well, the analyst has talked about this, and they had differing opinions. Crumbs is saying Jarvan is just not viable against TSM. They're playing too safely in the early game. You're not going to get what you need. And Hai and Co were saying that, well, as long as you don't pick 3 losing lanes, you can make it work and find those plays afterwards. So we'll see if the draft looks different for the rest of the Echo Fox lineup.
Also, to me, Jarvan does scale more than something like a Rek'Sai. Jarvan brings attack speed, AoE buff to the entire team. Very effective early on. Can build tanky initiation for the team. So there are a lot of options. One of the big things about the popularity of this champion is its versatility.
Speaking of versatility, Echo Fox back on the Aatrox train, the top laner that won the previous game, and Solo had a very, I would say, good game on Aatrox over there in that one. So a bit more comfort and can be a strong laner, of course, advantageous in a lot of matchups. Good into Vladimir heads up because the chain now works through Sanguine Pool. You can get the damage output there. 3 Hakuho Braum games in a row, 3 Galio games for Smoothing in a row.
All right, TSM not changing much up either. Lissandra back on the table for Bjerg.
Ah, there it is. They get the Kennebec for the bans come through. That's what Echo Fox, well, didn't have to face over in game 1, but TSM realized the Jax didn't work, so now Hecarim is the pick of the day.
And let's do a recap why Hecarim, even before the changes recently, was a good matchup into Aatrox with the extra speed. You can take Ignite, you can go for the all-ins. Now, you also get more damage by stacking up your Qs in lane. As a solo laner, he gets a lot more levels early on, so you can be much more of a bruiser. You don't have to be a mobility boots, lethality, one-shot rocket like you do from the jungle. And we are expecting this to be top lane, but I mentioned jungle because it can still be flex.
It can be. It's just less popular to be a jungler, but certainly a possibility. All eyes point to top lane, but if there's something crazy coming out, and there's suddenly this even crazier matchup and a comp synergy that makes sense, then maybe we see it. Hecarim Galio, certainly a great delivery system as well. So TSM, well-rounded. They should have a good advantage top lane. They should have a good team fight presence as well. We saw Bjerg really explode on Lissandra, able to follow Acadian around. I'm curious if Echo Fox actually bans some champions away. Will Rek'Sai get dropped off the table? Will they actually keep Acadian from having the kind of game he did in the previous?
Looks like they are also looking towards the bottom lane, like everybody else. That Kalista last time around, so much different for TSM. Completely different look.
Wow.
Where they were very aggressive, and they actually ban out the Nocturne. They don't. Okay, so that can oftentimes be, you know, looking at possible split push, but even just snowballing lanes ahead with Hecarim. Hecarim plus Nocturne, Lissandra, Galio dive is like the most insane dive comp. So any sort of marksman is like, yes, please ban some of these pieces.
And Sven even fits alongside it. This is actually one of the 2 perfect picks. I would say Ezreal being the other one of I can press R and also hit your backline. So good luck being anything. Oddly enough, Ziggs would be a decent pick against this comp. You can just like throw your stuff out from long range and not be dove quite so hard.
Or try and put the ultimate and bomb on yourself. Just throw everything up in the air and have it come down on your head.
And by Zhonya's Hourglass, you've got attack damage, plenty of it. Kog'Maw instead, that's the other way to go about it. I'll just die and use my true damage passive.
And also, last time we saw Apollo do this, I believe he was one of the guys using the Hell of Blades early on, Kog'Maw, for laning. Pop W, get your harassment out. Strong laning pattern, especially with Hell of Blades. It works well with Braum because you can proc Braum stun very quickly in lane. I do like this round out here.
And there's what you called.
Yeah. Mentioned it earlier as we're loading into the game, but the Swain is another very common answer into Lissandra. Super effective because it's so much more tanky. Has a lot of these other options of setting up junglers, sustaining through the engages, waiting out the aftershock. One of the other ones, of course, there are a lot of things that people have been trying to play into Lissandra because he's so popular and so versatile now, but you could also do the long-range damage Vel'Koz route. Phoenix, to me, is much more of a Swain player. He has had extremely good Swain games, and a lot of that comes from the timing on activating his passives. And his choices there with moving people around have been very good and earning them some, victories in spring.
And I do like EchoFox's lineup as a response to a very sort of obviously dive-heavy composition. Swain can tank it through. We expect a stopwatch to come through at Kog'Maw at some point. And yeah, the Aatrox can revive, etc. There's a lot of sort of reviving or self-healing juggernauts that can withstand this and counter-engage. TSM forward motion, but it's still that same Rek'Sai, Lissandra, and Galio that wreaked havoc over in Game 2. That has not been disrupted, and arguably the top lane matchup even better for them with Hecarim into Aatrox, so TSM could still have a slaughter of an early game. The coaches shake hands. We'll see what this one looks like here. Either way, one team is heading to match point. The tied series in a best of 5. And it's now how well do you play? Rush had a great Game 1 for most of it, and a very weak Game 2. Phoenix did so much heavy lifting in Game 1, was almost invisible in the second. It's how you play in the game.
I don't like how you're promoting better jungler wins meme.
Better jungler wins. You've heard it here first. Acadian versus Rush. Certainly important. TSM and EchoFox. We'll see what's going to happen in this one. TSM poised to make semifinals. You expected it based on the regular season. The higher seed in this matchup, but it's been a close fight. On we go to Summoner's Rift, 1-on-1.
All right, pivotal Game 3. Who's going to turn the tides in this series? Oftentimes in best of 5s, we see so much momentum go with the third game pickup here and pulling ahead 2-1. All right, Braum on the table here for EchoFox. So again, every time we see it, we mention possibilities of going for more creative level 1s. And I've been pushing to see more creative level 1s and going for aggressive invades when you do have champions like this to try and utilize it, especially in best of 5s, and carve out some sort of early advantage. But it looks like, and they might actually do it, delayed invade is a possibility here. It's spotted by a ward, though.
It's a very defensive level 1, of course. The instant trinket ward, Acadian can watch the other ways around, knows where they're headed, and can just slink away from Rush without much issue. Doesn't see a trinket ward go down. Phoenix did place one. I believe that was actually in that single brush over by the Raptors. Indeed, it's there.
High value Ghost Poro there, right behind the red buff. Meanwhile, bottom side, Smoothie tried to sneak in there for a little counter invade to see if he could sneak some vision a little bit deeper. Not going to be the case.
You mentioned Halo Blade's Kog'Maw. That is indeed the pickup there, so the early aggressive laning can be strong.
Yeah, I really actually have enjoyed it quite a lot. People have the idea in the back of their heads of the Kog'Maw of old where you have to scale up for super late game and you have to have a Lulu and become this juggernaut. But
Kog'Maw's good all around.
It's actually just such a very effective champion early on in the lane phase, especially with this rune taken. So we'll see how much difference this bottom lane makes. Last time around, yeah, the Galio was the same, but Kalista is such a big part of both enabling that and going aggressive.
Yeah, I expect the EchoFox 2-on-2 to be favored here. I expect them to do better. We saw in Game 1, they took, I think, like 3 plates before those fell, just from the spread up 2-on-2, so that could be happening. This, though, is also expectation for top lane. Broken Blade should be handily winning this matchup over against Solo.
Yeah, Hecarim can charge up Conqueror very, very easily. You can push the wave by walking into the minion.
But they've got a stun and one more auto attack on a...
That minion.
Yeah, that almost was an auto attack on a Smoothie, and that could have been maybe the flag and drag, but no gank to be had. Summoner heal still. Burned by Sven. That little pressure got a summoner out.
All right, one summoner down. Very important for this bottom lane with the all lanes possible. But again, it's defensive summoners for EchoFox. They've got Cleanse and Exhaust as their combat summoners, not the heal or Ignite. Of course, taking Cleanse on Kog'Maw when you're looking at a lineup like this does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because you have so much utility out of it later on. It does mean that maybe there will be less options for those kills here.
Once again, vertical jungling though, as Acadian takes his top half of his jungle and then comes in for the Scuttle and the blue buff. The Jarvan of Rush doing a very similar thing, and actually a new look now. Early recall, and he's going to try to match his own jungle. Oddly enough, though, Rek'Sai is actually not doing it either.
Yeah, and again, when you're talking about opting into splitting the jungle, so we go for a mid lane gank.
That's an early force, and that's a nice pull back right there. Pulls him in, the flash to follow in, the heal, it's not enough! And first blood, 3 games in a row for Acadian!
Phoenix is gonna want that one back. TSM find the kill again. Bjergsen goes in this time around, and Acadian is able to finish it off. Rek'Sai with first blood, Money Freak. That is terrifying.
That is absolutely terrifying, and we can watch that fight yet again. They just had the damage.
Yeah, all right, so Phoenix flashes away, but wants to get a punishment off for them trying to gank him. So he walks back up to deal some damage in the trade, while Acadian is still here. If you're gonna disrespect Acadian like that, he's gonna make you pay for it. Flashes in, they get the kill. He's rolling with an extra longsword on top of the blue smite already. And he's set up once again to rule the jungle.
He really is. This is such a solid start for him. Blue smite is there, longsword in, more stats than Rush. This is gonna look really solid.
Yeah, I actually see that mistake a lot from mid laners that get angry when they're ganked, trying to get out a little bit of damage after the tail end of it does pay off, but just stepping up like that exposes himself to the second flash. Top side.
Nice play by Broken Blade, yeah. Jukes out the third Q, and look at that damage output he's got. And meanwhile, in mid lane, Phoenix gone again.
Well, this one is gonna snowball. Another kill for Acadian here. And Rek'Sai should be able to continue the invade. Rush knows he's got no mid laner in addition to the extra kills here on Rek'Sai. Smites away the big chicken and is able to clean up most of the small ones as well.
This is getting out of hand rapidly. It's getting faster and faster in TSM's favor. Rush barely able to clear some minions out, and that's it.
I would want to take a look at the replay, but with the teleport timing here, I'm assuming Phoenix teleported to a minion out in the wave, maybe?
He had some time.
Okay, so he was just walking around.
Yeah.
And Acadian just camped. Really good job there by Acadian, immediately returning to the scene of the crime. Punishes the flashless mid laner here. No extra vision for Phoenix. No extra pressure, opened up around there from Rush. Yeah, there definitely feels good to get those. We definitely take those. But a stat I was going to bring up for Phoenix was that he was one of the least warding mid laners in all of the LCS for all of spring. Yes, he has been great in lane. Yes, he has been such a force for Echo Fox, winning a lot of their games, especially like Zoe play. He plays very aggressively though, and has fairly low warding numbers, which can come back to bite you, especially when you've just flown both of your summoners.
Acadian's camp so far paying off pretty well. And we look at the other lanes though. Small advantage to the Echo Fox duo, somewhat expected based on matchup, and that early heal forced out, forcing defensive play. Top lane, Solo was holding on, though Steel feels pretty good. Keep in mind, Solo is now flashless from an earlier play out of Broken Blade, but Ignite is up, so that's summoner advantage. That can turn around. Rush getting some nice time. Go for this Infernal Drake. Now, Rek'Sai's on that side of the map. Based on what Acadian thinks about, he could potentially stop him.
Big. Rush is going to get found out. There's a controller behind their red buff as well, so even him entering the river.
Yeah, but they're trying now for Acadian.
Paco lands.
What he can press, they find the Q, looking for a little bit more. Does not have flash. This could be the damage, and a trade kill comes in, crucially to the Kog'Maw.
Nice shot there by Phoenix, pulls Acadian back in, and now they will be able to get the Drake here. Infernal Drake picked up. Bottom lane pushing for them, Apollo and Hakuo, so stable for this team, yet again, finding some pressure here. Really like that Kog'Maw pick in the second half, pays off.
Forces the ult, can't find the knockup. Plenty of damage on towards Solo. Broken Blade able to just trade that back and forth. Solo wants to revive, but he's not going to get to, so keep in mind, Broken Blade has ult Ignite! There it is! Doesn't even need to press it, but does gets the kill. Solo 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, especially Conquer On, you got to see that one coming. He just goes for it right under the turret. Immediately takes down Solo, is rewarded for his kill.
Goes for the engage on the mid lane as well, he'll live.
All right, Acadian knows that he's gone too far. He walked back right there to try and dodge out a Braum Q, but Hakuo still able to hold on, still lands it, and the collapse from Echo Fox, able to take over control of this river. That is pretty big for them.
Broken Blade stayed so long, and Rush gets back on the map. He's going tank once again, gets a solo kill. Doesn't even get a play. I don't know what Broken Blade quite stayed for.
Yeah, this series really been back and forth, and game 3 going to be no different. EchoPox still fighting here. Yes, they are still down 1,000 gold even after this kill, but oh, they've got a ward on it the whole time, so he knows he can flash for it. Gets in there with the knock-up, with the slow, has ultimate to dunk, and Rush finds some gold for himself with this. Very important after they just killed Acadian to put a stop to this Rek'Sai snowballing. Rush is now a level ahead with that solo kill experience.
That's some nice stuff. You're gonna go for this blue buff pretty quickly as well. That'll be an easy handoff to Swain. Get it low enough and the W can take it. One of the nice things about Swain, you don't have to actually leave your lane to grab your buff.
Yeah.
Solo is gonna walk around and say, hey, are you safe? Here's a control ward. That, okay, it's enough, good.
Sauron is watching. Don't take that blue.
Meanwhile, only one ring, which is all you need for Phoenix on that Sauron-esque champion. So I guess he's all right. Still a 1,200 gold lead puts TSM ahead. There's a quick grab on the other blue buff, and we've got a fairly close one here.
And I'd say the biggest discrepancy in this game is if you look at the mini-map right now and where the vision is. We've got so much of the EchoFox vision up on this top side where TSM do have the winning matchup. Meanwhile, all the control wards for TSM are again focused bottom side where they're heading right now. Bjergsen roaming past their control wards, able to control so much of this jungle. EchoFox's own red side is dark to them.
Yeah, and I actually like where he sent the Scryer's Bloom and actually looks for if Rush could have been down there, looking over the red buff and the Krugs. It wasn't on either, but Braum saw that Bloom. They knew where Bjergsen was coming and that he's going to stay safe, and now Rush is back in. But Broken Blade gets to kill the control ward and continue his pressure running around top side.
Yep, very strong winning matchup on the top side. He's got his kill onto the Aatrox already for the extra money. Early Ninja Tabby boots, plus the parts of his Phage. Feeling very, very confident here. Pushes up, goes for the invade, and TSM keeping the pressure on.
And Kobe, those wards you circled 20 seconds ago, they're all gone now. That's all been swept, so now that top side safety is been revoked. And Solo, though he has ult and flash, probably has to feel a little afraid of what might go on here. Dodges the claw. That means there might be a play on towards Bjergsen, but has flash up. Can easily get away from Rush. Will do so.
Bjergsen's running into a dangerous area here. As you mentioned, EchoFox no longer have vision, so you can't over-chase in situations like that. Rush does find Acadian at the Rift Herald, though, chases him off and ensures that they won't take an extra objective. Still has the extra level lead here currently over Acadian until those Krugs get picked up.
Yep. Now level lead for Bjergsen, of course, as well, and 20 CS. Rush going to see that Broken Blade is here, but he needs reinforcements. This is not an easy 1v1 to win.
Careful.
And Acadian's nearby. Doesn't land the Q, so there's no ult just yet. Jumping forward, has to flag and drag away, stays alive. Broken Blade, will he go for the engage? Yes, ult, E, a lot of damage. Rush's days are numbered. He's going to fall. A couple more shots will do him in, and there's that kill. Now Solo, 1v3, looks for Broken Blade. They've got Swain. They might just get the trade kill, and they do. Now on the backside is a stun. That second kill picked up. Acadian can't run away, or can he? They finally get the trade. A 2-for-2, and Phoenix picks up a big kill.
And only the mid laners are left standing here. Double buffs go over to Phoenix. Health advantage to Bjergsen, though, and he gets back to the wave first to push it in. What a collapse. Both junglers, both top laners going down in that fight for that scuttle.
Now, top lane waves the equilibrium. That's not going to be too much of a problem. Nice by Bjergsen. I like that he got the plate. He got the aftershock to trigger. That was pretty cute.
Yeah.
He's going to force a bad recall out of Phoenix right now. Bjergsen can shove that wave in easily. Force the TP out.
That plate money is extremely important, and he activates his claw a little bit early, so it's not at the very end point where Phoenix is throwing. They never move to pull him back. Here's another look at it. Rush waiting. Fights over initially these honey fruit. Scuttle Crab here just wanting no part of the battle. Acadian comes in to even up the 2v2, and Solo does not get the first Q. Immediately pops his ultimate and tries to turn around this fight, but being stuck outside the Jarvan Cataclysm, he couldn't add any more damage. So that means Phoenix will take it into his own hands, flashes forward over the wall. Swain doesn't have to be scared there with the ultimate on, and Bjergsen actually left Acadian quite early, doesn't stick around. They didn't think that they could win that 2v1 at the end.
Yeah, in retrospect, it was close, though. Phoenix did go down about 300, and Bjergsen's next round of cooldowns might have come back up. It's hard to say, but he chose safety. Now Broken Blade goes to the trade, able to outplay Solo's Qs pretty well, and out sustaining the whole way through.
All right, let's take a look. Infernal Drake on the map. Junglers circling through the river, trying to get vision once again. And it's going to be about how quickly can the lanes collapse. Bjergsen is first to push in mid. He roams down. They ping down Broken Blade on the Hecarim, even walking through the river. I think TSM have this one.
Looking around, yeah, it's just all darkness right here. Both bot laners sitting on 2,000 gold in inventory. They haven't bought in a while. Either way, it's getting rushed down. Broken Blade builds the space. Infernal grab, no problem. Looking now at the re-engage towards Phoenix. Gets the fear, gets everything, and he's never allowed to press a button. The re-engage not gonna matter. Echo Fox only forced to run away. Some quick wave clear, but watch out. They can still come around. Next claw is up soon. Ult to follow through. Nice stopwatch, but Rush is now surrounded. There is not a way out. Broken Blade grabs his 3rd kill of the game.
That is just slow to the party there. They just wait around the Infernal Drake while TSM are on it and then go to peek their heads out. The objective is already lost and they lose 2 more kills on it. That's gonna mean mid tower's taking a lot of damage. Rift Herald's taking a lot of damage. Solo's taking a lot of damage.
Yes, he is. He's down to half. Has the ult, but just getting worn down is enough. Broken Blade, if you can ever force the ult, you just simply wait 10 seconds and then kill him afterwards. That's a quick Herald picked up. Akaden will grab that one without much issue.
Honestly, he could charge that on mid lane, get those last 2 plates, open up the map, get a large chunk of money. They do want someone to stick around, to be around for those plates when he activates it, but mid tower going down this early would mean that Echo Fox would lose control of their entire jungle and TSM could continue to invade.
Just gonna hope to scale. And Kog'Maw's good in team fights that actually, based on comp, it's hard to say if he's going to do better than Sven with equal gold, but Sven feels like he's kind of ahead right now. Despite that 1 kill picked up to the Kog'Maw, their gold pretty close together. Overall, looks a couple plates went through and it finally broke back towards Apollo here, but first power spikes are in, Rage Blade halfway through, and some pressure maybe towards bottom side. That ward not yet killed, afraid of Haku and Apollo.
Yeah, this bottom river control has been objective #1 ever since game #1. For TSM, and has definitely turned the tides.
Sven's got max rank Q, and he's got the evolve in it with the new school Storm Razor into pickaxe build. No plates at all for Echo Fox. The lanes are getting worse and worse for them actually over time.
Yeah, the attack speed on Storm Razor also setting you up to try and follow that quickly as you can with another
Boots and a Zeal upgrade, yeah.
Seems to be the option there, trying to go in on kind of a mid-game, very quick power spike, double evolution. Does make a lot of sense here. Apollo trying to get his Rage Blade going on a similar timeline though.
Momentarily, this Kog'Maw was slightly up in gold last I checked. Either way, it's still pretty close, and TSM, of course, winning everywhere else. 40 CS, the mid lane difference. That's actually growing over time. Even though Phoenix grabbed a kill for himself recently and Jericho's only on assists, it feels like this Laundra has a lot of control. 2 kills up in this matchup.
Yeah, you mentioned it before, but TSM, first blood every time. Last 2 games in mid lane. Acadian visiting Phoenix, making him pay.
Turret
Gets the money, gets the mid turret.
And is after the plates, but it's still first turret gold in this game. That's 150 bonus. As Shelly will lose some more health, and a little bit goes back towards Phoenix here. That buff worn by Rush through that bottom side, and we wait for the next play. 3,500 gold puts TSM ahead. Acadian safely tunnels away. Rush not going to find that play here. Phoenix now finally level 11. Rank 2 ult. Rush got to be careful. It's the W, not the ult. The ult would have stopped him mid-flag and drag, but not the root.
Yeah, Echo Fox had to be very careful because even though they had to... Oh, never mind.
It's the hard dive. Apollo left alone has some damage towards them. He will not die to this one. Doesn't have aggro. That tree damage won't be enough. They're going to stay around for more damage down here. They've got Akaden nearby as well.
Yeah, Haku had roamed up to try and support Rush in his mid-movement there. However, it costs them bottom side. Sven and Smoothie do strike. They take down Apollo. They take both of his summoners with him.
TSM just not giving up anything in this game. Look at that lead, a clean 4,000. 1-0 on turrets, and we'll make that 2-1 pretty soon. No one's going to defend this one. They're backing off. They're afraid of Bjergsen, and rightly so. He's been a part of so much in this game. And TSM getting farther and farther ahead now in this one. Game 3 looking likely.
Definitely some changes need to be made here for champion select as well. Let's take another look at this. Apollo gets tagged. Smoothie flashes over the wall, able to land that taunt, even with the double summoners afterwards. Apollo is toast.
Aftershock blocks it and just able to fight it kind of away from the turret the whole time because Apollo flashed away. It was actually a very easy dive. Not a lot of defense left over. Rush just farming, Solo doing the same. Still 2 deaths on him. Has been part of a little bit of this, the Broken Blade getting the better of this game so far. Now another fight, not going to find much that was Solo.
Yep, Hecarim gets to laugh about that one. It's very easy for us to walk out of the chains. Very easy to dodge so much of the sweet spot damage from all of Aatrox's Qs. And just, you feel so clunky when you're playing Aatrox into Hecarim with all the extra move speed that Hecarim gets, and Broken Blade even going the Frozen Fist, mostly armor and health build here. There is actually very, very little that Solo can do, even if he manages to land some of the Qs in that matchup.
Plenty sustain, Corrupting Potion in case you need it. Here comes the Ocean, now picked up at 18 minutes and change. TSM gonna get that one without anyone even looking their way. Then it'll help, do like 80 damage. Thanks, bud. There's the smite, there's the pickup. TSM keeping that full court press going as Phoenix has to farm his Krugs. There's nothing else safe on the map.
All right, speaking of the rest of the map here and not being safe, the mid tower was taken, so even that little journey that Hakuo, Apollo, and Rush just took up into the river, had to be very careful, sticking S3, placing down their control ward and their Ghost Boro, just fighting to carve out a little bit of vision here in the map to defend around this missing turret.
And actually, it looks like Apollo stopped to buy a Ninja Tabby. 800 gold spent on 20 armor when I feel like most of the physical damage dealt is not really even auto attack based. And that's going to delay that power spike that I think he needs for a mid-game team fight. Baron's up in a minute. He will not have Rage Blade money by then. That might be really crucial. He's another 1,000 gold above what he has right now. Meanwhile, Sven getting pretty close to that next one.
Yeah, I do think that TSM are the ones that want to push this game forward fairly quickly here. Does Sven have the upgrade, by the way? Yeah.
Q and E upgraded. Boots plus a couple of daggers is enough with that.
Yeah, that's the whole Stormrazor. Like, it's so early when he gets both of them. Now you have a lot more survivability in team fights due to the utility there, going invisible. We'll see if they actually bring it to front, though. Level 11 has also come in, and they definitely have control. They just need to push up, probably take the last top turret first before they really start to overextend. Galio Ultimate is available, though.
We've got plenty of targets for that one with the dive. Apollo is flashless, could be a target. The rest of the squad, Fox can get away. But when Broken Blade regroups, that'll be the call. That's when they go for it. Look at him slow and smoothie. Decent damage here. Needs 2 more auto attacks. 1 more, not gonna find him. Out he goes. Now this turret taking fire, and look at this Broken Blade. No one's stopping him. 3rd outer turret gonna fall. TSM farther ahead now. 5,000 gold up. Baron is alive, and they've got a couple of deep wards. TSM have most of this vision control, but not all of it. It's not dark yet for Echo Fox. They've got a couple of wards scattered about. It won't be just yet, but in the next few minutes, you might see that one come through.
Yeah, I think the only thing here for Echo Fox is just trying to funnel as much money onto Apollo as possible to get that Rage Blade completed. If they have that for the team fight, then they have some hope.
Yeah, he still needs the rest of the combined cost. About 500 gold shy. And that'll be an important spike. Rage Blade, though, done for Sven. Of course, first to that spike. And that could be pretty meaningful if they can find that battle. Broken Blade grabs the blue buff himself. Now keep in mind, he gets nothing except for mana out of that. He's already max CDR, but grabs it all the same.
All right, bottom side, he's gonna push up as well. Pretty easily here for TSM to just default into the 1-3-1. Broken Blade and Bjergsen both have their teleports ready. Their mid lane is actually very defensive here. Kai'Sa, as we keep mentioning, has the EE upgrade, can get out of most of the engagements there from Echo Fox. So it's all about picking your moment here for Echo Fox. Rage Blade's done for Apollo.
I think that's the moment. Zhonya's done for Phoenix here as well. Rank 2 ults across the board, aside from Hakuo, which is just a little bit less relevant. So if there's a time, it's going to be Echo Fox contesting the Drake or contesting the Baron. It's up to when TSM wants to be aggressive, because it feels like Fox will not be the ones to pull the trigger. They'll be the ones to react, but maybe they find something. A bit of damage, but that's all. Red buff onto Apollo actually meaningful as well. That bonus range, getting that true damage burn and that slow could be valuable. Then tag.
Another thing that Echo Fox need to keep in mind is the possibility of the Lissandra flank. Solo's having a hard time dealing with this 1v1. I think at the turret he should be okay in clearing out the minions, but maybe not.
Yeah, right underneath. It takes a lot of damage, though. He's going to actually ult away from this one. Now, Hakuo not going to find a Kaden yet, but that was a bit too aggressive for Broken Blade. Pulled turret aggro because of the Corrupting Potion.
Yeah, good defense there from Echo Fox. They rotate down from the mid lane to defend against the possible dive here. Make sure that Solo can still hold the turret.
Yeah.
What I was about to mention, though, something to have to keep in mind is the possibility of these Lissandra flanks. Bjergsen is pushing the wave and then pulling back into Fog of War. You want to remain off the enemy minimap as long as possible as a champion like Lissandra. You just impose this fear on the enemy team. Any space they don't have warded could be a possible engagement from a Lissandra, and that would be devastating.
Absolutely could be. You gotta keep those sides. You gotta look around for when Bjergsen comes around. You know he's fearsome. He's gotten some really good flanks in before. I think a lull state, though, still does help Echo Fox. I really like their scaling. Swain can become unkillable. I think he can withstand a Kaisa even in a 6-item state and kill her first. I still think it's TSM who must be aggressive, and they've got the tools to do so. That leads still exactly 5,000.
Now, right now, they are rotating Broken Blade up. I think they just got spotted, but they're possibly going for a collapse there. Dragon's about to spawn.
Yeah.
It is a mountain dragon, so not the most
Fox
critical.
Bjergsen can TP. He's back in base. He's got to get a regular ward to TP onto. He's
Here
pulling it right now.
comes.
Coming in through the jungle. Echo Fox have to really realize this and get away. They can find the engage. There's the stun. Out goes Apollo. But here comes Hecarim. And goodbye to the butterfly. The re-engage comes across, but do they have the damage? Phoenix must carry it. Does he have it? The dunk in from Rush. Bjergsen's low. They get that first shutdown. 4v4 solo. Cut down though already. And Rush has nowhere to run. They're going to find all of these kills. Rush and Hakpo, the last one's alive. There's 4 quick kills picked up. And poor Braum is going to try to run, but he finds a new friend, and he's pushed away. TSM, a 4-for-1 team fight. They can take whatever they want. Mountain Drake, not even in their eyes. They're going top side. They're going towards that Baron right now.
Hakko's running for his life, throwing back those Qs over his
He's
shoulders.
gonna
tower!
At least the execute.
He waited out the 10 seconds there. It is going to be very futile because TSM will pick up the Baron. However, he was able to deny the gold.
It's gonna be futile. TSM are the lords in this one, and Echo Fox just the serfs here. Nice team fight, TSM. Get the ace, only lose one. Baron buff on the team. They are smashing this game.
TSM. We were just talking about Alessandra Flank Freak. Here it comes. Bjergsen's able to find the teleport in on the Rek'Sai tunnel and goes straight for Apollo. Dive composition fully operational. Broken Blade then ults Apollo with the Galio coming in on top. And even though Phoenix on the Swain does create a lot of space, causing TSM to flash out, picking up the 1 kill, there is no damage source here. The Kog'Maw taken down at the beginning of the fight without being able to get off any auto attacks means that the rest of members of TSM can clean up Echo Fox. There is nowhere to run.
Yep. Bjergsen running flash ult just to get sums out of Apollo. Easy cleanup there on the Broken Blades end, and they worked really, really well. So now Baron buff on, I think the entire squad. It looks like it's orbiting Sven as well. He respawned in time, so easy pickups, and it wasn't Sven who died, it was Bjergsen. I gotta look for him, but either way, it's looking very, very good. TSM, look at that lead, 7,500.
I think it was Acadian, so we're all good.
All right, we're gonna find out. Either way, Bjergsen has 1 death. I think it was him. It doesn't matter. Looking at the engages, Echo Fox is not going to find that Q in, though. Looking at something. We can see both solos are visible. Broken Blade and Bjergsen. Only one has TP. Echo Fox is not finding their way in on this one at all.
All right. Slowly check. Don't have to be too cautious here. Apollo's waiting for the stun. Not going to go for it. Okay. Yeah, they're just trying to defend right here. Everybody split out. Both teleports are technically available, so they could have the teleport advantage with Bjergsen on Lissandra being the one that can't join. But he could try and interrupt Phoenix.
Bam. The turret goes down. Demolish working well. Baron buff on the 5 of them, it looks like. And TSM, look at this now. 4-0 in turrets. Gold lead 8,000. And change. Here comes the dive, possibly towards Solo. Lissandra over the wall. Nope, just for the turret. And that'll be a clean pickup there as well. 5-0 now in these structures. Phoenix not in range just yet. Out goes Broken Blade.
All right, TSM finishing up on the turrets here. 1 secondary turret left, bottom side. Can't quite crack this one with all of the Echo Fox defense set up here. Acadian, though, has been controlling vision through the jungle, so they're threatening once again. Baron buff goes down.
They can duck Sven. They should have what they need for it, but Rush doesn't press the button. Instead, they've got the rest of the team re-engaging on them, and Hakpo is not going to have a health bar for very long. There's the fear in the dive in. Can't quite kill off Rush. It is a trade of kills, but getting rid of the top lane is a pretty big deal. Rush going to drop right away, but can Kog'Maw re-engage? Here comes Bjergsen, finds the stun. In goes Sven. Down goes the Caterpillar, and down goes the rest of Echo Fox. The quick revive, and down is Swain. And Solo's left alone, true to his name. He will drop the second ace in a row for TSM.
And TSM with Baron buff on, and every Echo Fox member in the death chamber will walk straight into the base.
The crowd knows who's winning, and so do the players. The bottom inhib gonna drop in 15 seconds, and any of the meaningful respawns, they're gonna go right for the Nexus, and they should have the time that they need. TSM a game away from making it back to semifinals. What they did last time in summer and getting revenge against Apalu, Hakuo, and Solo. Looks like they got the time, going for the shots, going for the quick KDA, and there goes the Nexus. TSM one game away from semis.
Echo Fox opened it up with a win, but since then it has been all TSM.
Yeah.
Another Rek'Sai here for Acadian, another Lissandra for Bjergsen, another first blood in mid lane.
Yeah, absolute control right here. Bjergsen 2 Lissandra games in a row.